Hey guys, Brominating Reaper here, back with the second video of the day. Yeah, two uploads in one day. It's a very busy one indeed. So I just got done watching The Killer on Netflix. This is of course the newest film from David Fincher, and I was really looking forward to this, even if just for Fincher's name alone. Like, the guy has just such a consistently great track record when it comes to quality. Yeah. It's like Seven, Fight Club, Social Network, Gone Girl, like the guy just puts out banger after banger, acclaimed film after acclaimed film, and this looked very interesting as well. A bit, see, on the surface, seeming a bit more conventional than you might expect from Fincher, but the cool enough sounding premise and Michael Fassbender in the lead. This surely ought to be another good time from Fincher, regardless. But is it? Let's find out. So, in the film, we follow the killer, a hitman who is very efficient and effective with his work, sticking to a very simple mantra that he repeats to himself constantly: stick to the plan, anticipate, don't improvise, and don't trust anyone. One day, a job goes wrong in Paris and he is forced to flee. And when he returns home, he discovers the aftermath of an attack on his home. And so he sets about getting to the bottom of why he has been targeted and dealing with the people who have done it. So, yeah, look, I'm not going to be around the bush here. I do love Fincher's movies, The Social Network is in probably like my top 20 of all time, and Seven is incredible. Like the guy just doesn't miss. And you know, again, I said on the surface that this might seem a bit more of a conventional film than what you might expect from Fincher. Well, appearances can be deceiving because this is a incredibly magnetic film, absolutely fantastic stuff. But for one, this is definitely not the action movie you might expect from the title and the premise. In fact, really, there's only one actual fight scene in the film, and it is it is very well done. But what this film does that works really well is that it basically serves almost as the antithesis of like stuff like John Wick, where John Wick is, very much like, the appeal, the allure of the, criminal underworld. You're getting the cool gunplay fight scenes, everything's really stylish. This is the exact opposite of that. This is very much highlighting a much more like grounded and realistic take on the hitman profession. We see the killer, very methodically sorting out his routine, setting himself up, listening to the Smiths to keep himself focused, and obviously constantly cleaning up the messes and disposing of any potentially incriminating evidence. It's a much more low key and grounded film, but it's that unique perspective that does make it so compelling to watch. In fact, it's probably a better adaptation of the Hitman games than the actual Hitman movies are, and it's not even adapting those. So make of that what you will. And it helps as well. It keeps up a really like methodical pace. It's very tight. It's very efficient and effective, much like the killer himself. And through this very low key pace, it keeps itself consistently very engaging and is incredibly magnetic as we get to the bottom of the people hired to who have been hired to target the killer basically, and also just very satisfying seeing him deal with them in his very efficient way. And I mean, it's shot incredibly well. It's yeah, it's got a very grounded yet incredibly like stylish and vibrant flair to it. It's David Fincher. Of course, it's gonna look good at least, and through that as well as Fincher's directing, there are some fun little flourishes to this quite grounded story. That there's a fun little flourish towards the end where we see like a phone screen graphic pop up like, as he's planning out a hit. It's very effective stuff. And as well as that, there's a really strong soundtrack here. I mentioned obviously the killer listens to the Smiths to sort of keep himself in focus, and yeah, it's that Smiths soundtrack that that works so wonderfully, full of bangers, and they're all very well placed. They don't feel like they're breaking the tone of the film or anything. In fact, they actively serve to enhance the tone and gives the film a real sense of character and really does a number in building up the killer as a character. And talking of character, yeah, he's a very magnetic presence indeed. Michael Fassbender is absolutely fantastic in this role. He's a very cold, methodical presence, and it works so well. In a way, he's very much like sort of the anti Sigma. I just know there's going to be people that are going to use him as a literally me character now, but like, but he is cold and sort of methodical, like most Sigmas are. But he's what he isn't is not is cool. He's definitely not like a cool character. In fact, I imagine coolness would probably go against something he stands for. Yeah, he's a sort of cold, sort of logically minded character, and that's how he operates. And Fassbender plays it so well. It's a very low key yet incredibly magnetic performance, and he's joined by a strong supporting cast of actors as well, including Charles Parnell and Tilda Swinton, who are like all great. But yeah, really, it is Fassbender's show. And admittedly, in regards to character, it can, through its very methodical nature, can characters can feel kind of at arm's length. But in saying that, at least in regards to the killer, anyway, we are gradually drip fed these little pieces of information about who he is and how he operates, especially through voiceover. Like voiceover is used absolutely perfect here in communicating, how he's thinking, how he operates, and yeah, they do a good job of developing this character who is very much stuck in his ways, but also testing how stuck he is in those ways. Yeah, it's a very interesting character. Even with the film sort of keeping its characters at arm's length, it still does a good job of keeping you engaged and invested in them. And this, incredibly magnetic, sort of low key pace builds and builds over the course of the runtime as we get deeper into the killer sort of figuring out what's going on. We build to an ending which, an outcome I did not see coming at all. It's definitely a much more unconventional ending than you might expect from this kind of film, but this is David Fincher. He operates how he operates, and to some it might be an anticlimax, but really thinking about it, like I actually think it is perfectly in keeping with how the film rules and how it's written throughout. I actually think it's a pretty like satisfying ending to the killer as a character. And yeah, I think that's about what I have to say. This is not my favorite Fincher movie. Obviously, that is still The Social Network, but yeah, by and large, this is absolutely fantastic, incredibly compelling, in a very low key and very methodical way. It's a fantastic watch. Like, definitely do give it a watch. It's on Netflix, so you should easily be able to view it. And yeah, that's what I've got to say. The Killer, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen The Killer? What did you think of it? And yeah, what did you make of the Smith soundtrack? And what do you make of The Killer as a character? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.